So the odd thing is that it went out when I said, maybe that applies to somebody and maybe that spooks, the powers that be. Because I said, is somebody that's unalivened? Is it possible? Hmm. Nothing surprises me anymore. There's nothing after these last few years. Yeah, nothing surprises me. And, I think it has helped me to grow, actually. It's helped me to help me to not be naive and gullible in a sense of thinking everybody ain't like me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say it as if I am just, I'm simply saying that the assumptions, of a certain base decency is that's to me, that's gullible because that's not the world, not this one. And that's just the bottom line. And I don't mean to sound Debbie Downer or pessimistic, Peggy. It's really not. That's not how I feel either. It's just it helps to you can still hold your own frequency. I could still be by me accepting that not everything is like me and putting up like certain wisdom and things like that. I believe it helps me to preserve that part of me, believe it or not. Because if I continued on the way I was, it would have killed everything, every ounce of what is true and real about me. Because I would have kept, being heartbroken by the fact that many humans are not as decent as they appear. I would have kept trying. I would have kept, you know, giving people a chance and wanting to, give people benefits of the doubt. I would have kept, and then with giving them that benefit of the doubt, and when it turned out that they were like trying to trap me up and do some crazy shit, then I'm all discombobulated. Now it's like I can be open to stuff, but if or when it turns out that they was full of shit, my life ain't turned upside down. Like it's not the same feeling I used to have. The feeling I used to have was like now it's like I just kind of nod, like okay, noted. That's the kind of vibe I have. Like okay, noted, and I make the adjustment. Um, because I can say this, on my path, it's like it's been a lot of tricky business about death. It has. And I wonder why. What are they scared of? What have they done? And they being whomever, you know what I'm saying? Whether this is just some just some, family members that's a part of some weird stuff or something else. It doesn't really matter. To me, it's like, what are they afraid of? Because such elaborated elaboration to be this trickster shit is crazy. I think sometimes they be scared to, you know, some of them are scared because they were involved. Some of them are scared because they don't want to give up maybe something that wasn't for them. And they figure if they could keep something secret, maybe that, that can hold on to that. I think that's why some of them, but I don't think all of the message about this song is as morbid as that for some of you. Maybe this is people who just are at a distance or something like that. Maybe you knew them once upon a time. Maybe they thinking of you, want you to think of them, and maybe, y'all take it out of rest. Messages come through. It is what it is. You take it and then you keep living. I hope if any of this ever jives that you keep consciously, mindfully, best you can, living and moving forward because there's no hold button. You know, I like to make lots of jokes. I just saw 606. I like to make jokes like there's no pause. There's no pause button in life. Life is like a bowl of spaghetti, and there's no pause either. Life is happening. And I used to make a joke about how there was energies that wanted honorable feminine on like a layaway plan. Some of y'all don't know what that was good. Like wanted her like sleeping beauty layaway plan. Like, and that was an injustice to her. Basically, her youth robbed from her while people dilly dally and play and you know what I'm saying, and figure, taste the rainbow and you know let the karmics run them raggedy, and once that's finally good and finished, bitch, what I'm saying. It's like that's objectification. She's not a statue, and I think that was a part of the issues for a long time. She's not a statue. She's a person. Anyhow, any of you who see this, this is unofficial. This is none of the business stuff that I do here. This is just me shaking up the routine. Oh, when you have people like around you that is on some other psychotic stuff, it helps to shake up the routine ever so often because they're trying to track you to do some stuff, and then it's like, okay, surprise, suckers, jive turkeys, right? Like, surprise, I'm up, motherfuckers. I'm up, motherfuckers. It was waiting bed. I'm just kidding, but not kidding. I'm excited. Even though there's the crazy things that are happening, I do have plans getting my son out of this state. You all know about that. Um, because I've come to terms and acceptance of like this is just not the place for us. It's just not. And it has, I have played with this in my mind for a while because you get tired of people being able to run you off or push you out or bully you into some things, okay, and that's been a part of the journey is like, you know at some point you're gonna have to stand and face the weirdos, and I still believe that. It's like, no, I'm gonna still get to it, especially as it pertains to my family. That's an absolute. Because they're some of the key players in it, this whole following me around shit, okay, stalking me, social media, paying people to do stuff, that kind of thing. So I must deal with that, and I shall deal with it, and I shall be successful at it, okay? Um, because that's a part of it. But even aside of that, I've just come to grips like this still is not the place for me and my son. Even if I were to really put that aside, I've really been contemplating. As I said, this is not the place for me and my son. We cannot build and be happy here. Um, yeah, it just can't happen. It's nothing but disaster has happened, with a few increments of something good, but it's been nothing but, violation to our human and civil rights. Nothing but weirdos, what I'm saying, stalking us, trying to do weird shit. Um, yeah, just nothing but unnecessary shit intentionally due to the folks, first and foremost, relatives, and then second of all, the people here. Yep, the people I connected with and what they own, you know. And when you deal with small towns and how that goes, then essentially it's it's over and it's not even worth it. It's not worth it if your life is being thwarted because of the corruption there, and they friends with this one and that one and the homie, and you know it's just not, because a place that you decide, a state, a place you decide to live, it should be something to where you can build and can grow there, not be stipend and stifled and all of that due to people not liking you and people want to take from you. And that's the only thing we're experiencing here. And I told myself the other day, no matter how nice his little apartment is, it don't mean shit when basically you're being harassed in it. It don't mean shit. Because if he can't thrive and grow and I can't thrive and grow, then it's just a fancy looking prison. So we're leaving. And as a mother, because I got him, he's in the housing program, and it's like, as a mother, it's like, do you want to have him walk away from that, or take him out of a state if you can? And I didn't want to, but then I finally decided. I said, yeah, yeah, I do, because if him staying here means chances his life is altered, then yes, I do. That I have to. I can't take him to a restaurant. He can't eat fast food in this state because we've been put on a list and I can't trust what he's being given. So he can't enjoy all of the things that he would normally enjoy. I can't trust the so-called help because it may be the homie of somebody I fucked. Because that's what these folks I hear, that's what they are. That's how they do life. Or connected to one of his landlords that has a problem with me because I assert myself as a grown woman. Then it ain't even worth it for him. If people are going to be trying to make excuses to violate him and his space under the guise of so-called normal business operations, it ain't worth it if the people that live around him, above him, is assigned to be disruptive and to cause a problem for him and me. then the little housing is not, it's not healthy for him, because it's supposed to serve to help him to thrive. It's supposed to serve so that it's supposed to serve so that he can thrive, not be imprisoned because, yeah, people are on some other shit. Not a prison in his own apartment where people are doing spell work around the clock in their apartment like weirdos, going up and down the stairs. That's not what this is supposed to be. And I don't have the bandwidth to even care any further or even question anymore as to what went wrong with these human beings. I don't have the bandwidth anymore to even care. Like, what went wrong with these folks to get them in this kind of nasty children of the corn kind of energy? Because as far as I'm concerned, the fact that they can, all of these people that are involved and know they're involved, as I see them about, the fact that they can conduct this way is concerning for me. It's concerning when they know what they know. It tells me that maybe I'm not dealing with the human. Maybe I'm dealing with a bad alien. Maybe I'm dealing with, I'm not trying to be funny, but it's like when you deal with this kind of stuff up close and personal, and you know these people are fully cognizant of you or your situation or your children, and yet they still decide to behave the way they behave, it calls into question, what are they? I don't care if they have a cross tatted on their arm. I don't care if they got a platinum one around their neck. It calls into question, what are they? Somebody that would want to try to take some disabled a man's mama or father away from them, for not for a valid reason, not because there's anything legit, I understand that sometimes that's sometimes the healthiest and best thing that can be done if there's something, seriously wrong. But the fact that folks are okay with that, that is concerning. So we're out of here. We're leaving. And that's why, the Facebook market, I'll be utilizing that because from my experience, especially when you want to do something like that, you got to travel light. You want to make it as easy and smooth as possible. And truth be told, I mean, he don't have much. He doesn't have much, but you know, I'm really gonna downsize all and just sell everything. I'm gonna try to sell everything I can, and I can rebuild. I've always done it. I've done it several times over, and I can rebuild and take the lessons and still, hold that full intention of pinning my family. And because I am gonna do that, I'm certainly going to do that. Um, but so we can travel light. And even, in terms of like, okay, well, yeah, yeah, I'm looking into some other stuff, and some other stuff may come through in terms of opportunities that'll be suitable for his income, or I might have to just wing it because we are leaving. That's decided. This state is not for us. I've learned a lot of lessons over the last 4 years, the red flags of, I should have seen some things, shoulda, woulda, coulda, the way these opportunities presented themselves. It was written on the wall, like warning, you don't want to put yourself in vulnerable situations, and people sometimes come off as like, folks that's really wanting to help you and all that. And when you don't have no other options and choices, it sounds great and you roll with it. But sometimes that's a trap. I've experienced this with family. I've experienced this in the case of, relocating to Texas. And that's not something I wish to do again. So I'm working on that, seeking what I can do, researching, and I'm gonna have to wing it like, yeah, that's what it's gonna come down to. And that's possibly within the next couple of months. Yep, we're in December, January. It'll be January or February that this will happen. Maybe the end, oops, excuse me, maybe the end of February, because we deserve happiness, and this ain't it. This is not it. Being stalked every day by weirdos for no reason. This ain't it. We find our joy in other ways, but the bottom line is his home or anywhere that we have to be, that should not be a place of torment, a place where you're being violated. And that's all Texas has been.